We've talked before about whether or not we would actually biohack, which would be to medically alter our bodies, perhaps through non-professional surgery or non-licensed surgery, in order to get, I guess, superpowers, as they were. Some people are very much in favor of this. Some people are not. I still can't get past amateur surgery personally. But if that's interesting to you and that's something you want to do to your body, then that is your decision. But we actually do have an idea of how this could possibly work through Alexis Madrigal. He is the editor-in-chief of Fusion and recently underwent a certain procedure to make himself biohacked with a group we've talked about before on my show and on your show, which is the Grinders. They're a group of body modifiers.
Which, by the way, I wouldn't want anybody that called himself a grinder, like performing surgery on my body. That just sounds dangerous.
I mean, Alexis Madrigal did actually express that because
He's a brave soul.
When he went to go get this done in Tehachapi, which is where they're based, he was greeted by a garage and a guy who had just finished working a night shift who would be doing surgery
Sounds like the human
on his
centipede.
finger.
I'm sorry.
It's
the human centipede.
It's different than eating poop.
Only slightly.
It's something that I would be very concerned about personally. But we do have a little bit of a view as to this experience.
This whole realm of electromagnetic frequencies that are coming off of your computer and your cell phone and like parts of your car and stuff like that, it's out there and it's invisible because you don't have the ability to sense it. So this hacks one of your senses so that you kind of upgrade, so that you can sense this whole realm of reality that's like sitting right in front of you that you never knew was there.
Putting a magnet in the body can give you a power other humans don't have. Once implanted and the nerves regrow around it, the magnets supposedly create the sensation of a light breeze or vibration when your finger gets near an electromagnetic field. It's like a whole new sense, but you have to go under the knife first. And right now, there are no doctors present.
Basically, Alexis Madrigal went to go visit these two men who are behind Science for the Masses, and they are only named as Jeff and Gabriel in this article.
Which is spooky.
Well, they are also the men behind the C and what was it?
Oh yeah, there was an eye drop that would enhance your night vision for a limited amount of time, which is really cool.
I think they're pretty well known in this field.
Yeah, definitely. And this is like, for now, it's sort of an underground thing, biohacking, but you know, it is being worked on by industry professionals. There was a case in Africa where there was a tribe that kept getting hit by cars as they went into town, but they weren't breaking any bones. So doctors did some research on that, found that they were having head trauma as well. When they researched their genetics, they found that their bones genetically were growing different than the rest of society. That isolated tribe had developed a mutation, and they were taking that gene and implanting it into pregnant women to prevent osteoporosis. And that's a biohack, right? But that's medically proven and sound, where these guys are just like taking foreign elements and introducing them to the body, which is wild.
I mean, the writer did actually express some concern. I'm going to get a huge infection. I'm worried that it's going to come out. He didn't describe his experiences after it healed. He did not like the healing process, by the way, which I wouldn't either. I'd be a little terrified personally, because you don't have the same, I suppose, reassurance that you might feel.
It's not as refined.
Yeah, it's new. Yeah. It's new, and there are going to be bumps, and you just have to really hope that you're not one of the bumps.
So let me ask you this. If a doctor, like a legitimate, certified,
board-certified
surgeon,
medical doctor
said, hey, want to get a magnet in your finger? Would you do it?
I'm going to have to say I want something more
let's say like
worth it than a magnet.
Than a magnet in your finger. Let's say that it actually allowed you to feel magnetic fields on a wider scale instead of like on a small micro scale.
I mean, you'd have to do a cost-benefit analysis.
So the short answer is no.
The short answer is tentative no. But I mean, who doesn't want a superpower? Who doesn't want to feel?
I mean, he got some perks out of this, right? But
yeah, he did. He did describe it afterwards. He forgot to tell his wife or mother that he was doing this, so he had to explain it to them.
By the way, slicing my hand open and putting magnets in the muscles.
Yeah. After he was all stitched up and healed, he said right away, every little magnetic sensation he felt was jittering.
He could feel metals.
Scary.
Yeah.
But after a while, it became just sort of something he was used to. I suppose
nature.
it's like when you get used to like a Sonicare toothbrush. and
Yeah.
it's too powerful at first, and then you're like, okay, I'm fine with this after a
It's
while.
like anything else, right? It's super intense at first as you're adjusting, and then once you habituate, it becomes second nature.
He said his friends told him that he was like a low-rent Magneto.
Discount
because
Magneto.
He would push his son's toy cars a little bit. He said he did feel magnetic fields, but it
Yeah.
was only when it was a legitimate magnet, not just the fields that are
Yeah.
just present.
And he could pick up
in
paper
nature.
clips and like pennies.
Yep.
Things like
Well,
that. You
not
guys check
pennies.
this out. Well, I know, but little metal
Little
objects. Like,
small metal objects.
cool party trick.
Yeah. So he can feel the magnetic
Yeah.
fields, but it's just not incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Not
But
incredibly significant.
It's not about that, right?
It's not about that. It's more about, I suppose, futurism
Yeah.
and
bigger idea behind-
pioneering that trail out there,
Mm-hmm.
which I do commend. I'm just, again,
Right.
I don't think it's for me.
It's not, well, it's certainly not,
Not
there
at this
yet, but
point.
it is the advent, it certainly is the advent of, the singularity. We're being merged with the things that we're creating, specifically technology, and that's what's so interesting. Like, if someone came to me and said, we can remove your eyeballs and replace them with, cybernetic eyeballs that will allow you to see in the dark and see infrared.
Would you do it?
I don't know, these are my moneymakers.
You were going down this
But-
very inspiring road.
but I might do one. I would be like Kakashi and Naruto, with the one eye, just
Just
I would-
covered all the time?
Yeah, just like do that, or not. Just like have the exposure and the ability to see a world around me that does exist and have access to it, and apply it to my life. Because I feel like this magnet doesn't really. He gets no benefit from it other than just like, oh, now I have a grander idea of the world around me. But to be actually able to interact with elements of the world that I can't currently would be something.
I would
Or-
love to feel electromagnetic
Yeah,
fields.
yeah.
Not exactly a magnet.
Right.
But
But
the fields that are
what would you do with
present
it?
in the world.
Like what would you do with it?
Well, I mean,
Would you migrate?
I would debunk paranormal activity,
That's okay. There you go. There you go. Would
which
you be,
I've been
you-
kind
would
of
you
an
be-
asshole about too, to be fair.
I mean, it's a fair thing to be an asshole about.
Yeah.
But like, would you feel human presence differently because we give off
I don't know.
electromagnetic?
It would be. It's
vibes.
very fascinating. I would love to hear what people's experiences with this are. This is apparently a very common biohack for
Right.
the community.
It's a good starter kit for modifying
Sure.
yourself.
I mean, maybe it's not necessarily for everyone, but it certainly, I think, is a meaningful beginning to what the future
like-
holds.
yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
paradigm
not
shift, right?
necessarily singularity, but maybe, cyborg future.
integration.
It's interesting. It's very fascinating, and I do commend people for taking that leap at the very least.
Yeah, taking those leaps with cybernetic legs, maybe.
What?
Taking that leap with cybernetic legs. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not Ray Gillette, okay? Audience, would you do this? Would you get a magnetic implant in your hand or your finger or any other body mod? Some people get them right behind their ears. Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.